Here.
Member Galassi. Member Garcia.
Here.
Member Ozak.
Here.
Okay. Under chair remarks, I'm removing item, 10C, from today's agenda. Okay.
It's like a horse
Any
race.
public comment?
We're all scratched.
Those public
Say a
comment,
horse race?
Yes, it is.
we'll move right into the approval of minutes for June 3rd, 2025.
All right.
Chair will entertain a motion for a.
It's a move.
Second. Any questions, any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. We'll go right into consent items. Chair will move on 25-15-15 for Public Works. Chimera Water Solutions, this contract is decreasing in the amount of $19,202.78 and closing due to contract expiration.
Second. Go ahead, take it.
You can take.
Probably moved and seconded.
I withdraw my second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll get into the claims report. Chair would entertain a motion to accept payment of claims 25-15-16.
Second.
Public Works Facilities Man. It has been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on that matter? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move into the joint purchasing agreements. Chair will entertain a motion to accept recommendation of 3125 from FMP 3125. Recommendation for the approval of a contract to Touch Source LLC to provide and deliver outdoor touchscreen kiosks for the JT Cave Administration Building for Facilities Management for a period of June 25, 2025 to June 24, 2030, for a total contract amount not to exceed $40,877.61. Moved.
Second. That's.
Maybe you can explain.
So- You may say, what is this kiosk?
That's
So,
what I was gonna say.
so that's an excellent
And
question.
my second point was gonna be, you do know we live in Illinois where it
Yeah,
gets 50
yes.
below.
I
zero
know.
Outside.
So cue the PowerPoint, the two
Okay.
screen PowerPoint. I will tell you, so the, do you guys have the PowerPoint up or not? Yeah. So what we did, this is, our staff, Will County actually has this. And so we went down there and looked at it and it has been very, very successful. And originally I was a little bit skeptical, like how much it's gonna be, but when they gave us this price for a 5-year contract, it was hard not to do it, seeing the benefits down in Will County, and they were just saying how good it is. So do you have the PowerPoint?
Do you have to put a sweater on it?
We do. We have to keep it warm and tuck it in at night. So no, it's gonna be, it's survived in Will County, so.
Well, funny because there was a lady walking through the garage this morning looking for jury duty. So by us, I'm like, are you, she's, I'm like, can I help you? She's like, yeah, I'm looking for jury duty. I'm like, you're in the wrong, you have to go cross into the 502 and then they'll direct you there.
Your point is exactly why we're doing it. So many people get on this campus and they're looking for traffic court. They don't know where to go. And what they do, they always end up in 421. And this will intercept them before they get into 421, so they don't have to turn all the way around. And I have a feeling that if it's really successful, this might be something that we might want to have in additional locations, but we just want to put in one right now. So Jeff, if you want to kind of give a little bit of an overview.
Sure, yeah, Nick's touched on most of it. We found, this device, there's a photo on the bottom right there, that's at the Will County Courthouse. In the last year, I think it was installed there. This is through Touch Source. They're a national, pretty large company. This is through a government services administration, contract. So, this is something that we'll be updating over the next 5-10 years at least. So we wanted somebody that will either support us and update and all that sort of thing. So we think it's a good long-term solution here. And with the courtyard project wrapping up, we'll have the new sidewalks laid out. And as part of the work, they will actually map our campus. And then it is a touch screen, so if you'll be able to tap like, I want to go to traffic court, I want to go to the clerk, I need to pay taxes, I need to do whatever. And it'll show you how to get to whatever building you need to go to. It also provides a QR code, so if you want to take a photo of it on your phone, you can then carry it with you too. So we're hoping it's, yeah, there's been several times, especially with courtyard projects, I'm out there and somebody's like, where's the 421 building? And I'm like, I'm standing in front of a building that says 421. So it's a need for sure. If you go to the next slide, please. This is our tentative location. They need to assess it, make sure it'll be wheelchair accessible and all that sort of thing. It is right by the handicap stalls there. But we're thinking it'd be right at that corner. And it'll prevent people from making the long trek into kind of our deep entrance and then back out if they're at the wrong spot.
And this location, most visitors on campus, when they come here, they avoid the parking decks like the plague, right? For some reason, they love surface parking. So that's why most of them come and park in that lot right there.
Do you have any other questions? Let me know.
Good idea.
And it was the same, sorry, it was the same company in Will County that you.
Correct.
Okay.
It's been on my radar for a long time, just couldn't find the right product and then just too busy some other construction. The example I tell everybody, if you're here for a property tax issue, we went to one of three offices. Could be the clerk, could be the treasurer, could be the supervisor of assessment. So it's, we trying to clean it up. Our goal, this would be bilingual as well. So we're sensitive. Keith Briggs had just raised the comment, we want to be sensitive for floor plans. Obviously, we're not going to have a detailed layout of the second floor of a courthouse. So, it'll be the floor plans will be
By office.
big enough that, yeah, that it will get you to where you need to go, but not show you the inners of a court.
Yeah, we can also use it like the other monitors we have in this building. You can post campus events or, flyers for senior day and that sort of thing. You can have that flash up there and as like a screensaver type of deal. So we'll work with the departments like we already do and figure out how we want to program that.
And I assume there's like a big information about the top of the kiosk. How tall is it? Is it like the height of one of
yeah,
these?
if you go back-
EV?
Go back to the first slide.
It's
it like an
probably
EV
7 or
charger
8
height?
feet tall, 7 or 8 feet tall, but
Okay.
it's, and it does say like directory on the metal, signage, when you walk up to it, so.
So it's like 7 or 8 feet, but the screen is probably.
Yeah,
about
there's accessibility standards for like how tall you need to be to interact with it, so it complies with all
5'3".
that.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Yeah, all the time, yeah, the interface down low should work for you. so.
Okay.
Remember the side,
Thank you. How long has Will County had theirs?
1 year.
So it's seen all the weather cycles?
It's seen a cycle. We'll see. I mean, the nice thing is we have a contract. If for some reason it fails, we have a contract. They have to keep it up and running. This is gonna be a good experiment for us and for $40,000 over a 5-year period, it's well worth the experiment.
Sure. And what about, whose job is it to maintain it?
Facilities management.
Facilities, so like if there's a senior fair, like you mentioned, somebody will put the information in there?
So content, the two along County Farm, the content there is controlled by facilities management
Okay.
as well. And with obviously communications as part of it, this will be the same thing.
Okay, cool, thank you.
that's it?
When will this be installed?
Well, again, once we get the contract going, they have to survey the site, make sure it's compliant, so it'd probably be later, probably this fall, I guess. But,
this year?
yeah, we need to pour concrete pad, all that sort of thing.
Okay.
Thank you. And I might have missed this because I came in late from the economic development, but so I'm assuming over the 5-year contract, it is warranted.
Yeah,
So there wouldn't
What was
be,
your question?
it's warranted
Oh,
over
yeah.
those 5
yeah,
years
there's a service plan.
included. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's go. Let's get into, action items. Chair will entertain a motion to, on the amendment 25-517. The amendment of, to the resolution FMP 2625 issued to Allied Valve Inc. County contract 7721 0001 serve to test, repair, recertify fit relief valves for boiler and at the power plant for facilities management to change the contract terms from a
Mhm.
3-year contract to a
Second.
1-year contract for a period of May 28, 2025 through May 27, 2026, and to reduce the contract amount from $70,640 to $17,660, a decrease of 75%. Has been moved and seconded, okay,
Sorry.
I'll take. Member Ozark,
I did have a question.
okay,
I don't recall seeing something like this where we reduced a contract. Is it into with performance? or-
Contractual, we're going from 3 to 1. Tim, if you want to give up.
This was the vendor working with the procurement office, the vendor had requested this, and this was, an acceptable arrangement for both parties.
Oh, all right, fine.
We should have done when we go down in price.
you remember Jay, you had something?
We can do that.
Any other discussion?
But it'll be bad.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next action item, FMP 0000425. Precisionism, is that it?
Rescission, another weird contract, so I can explain this one at the end too.
Rescission requisition 25-748 for the approval of a contract of WIP Line to provide accounting services and support related to the pursuit of federal renewable energy tax credits as part of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 for facilities management for a period of March 18, 2025 through March 17, 2026, for a total contract amount not to exceed $16,370.
Second.
Moving second.
So you will see with Lee, you will see 9B, 10A, they're related. We originally awarded Whipley, and they were the apparent low quote that we've got. We could not come to contract terms with them. So that's why that we are rescinding the original, and then the next number 2 was Baker Tilly. And so we're moving forward. And what this contract does, whether we go Whipley or Baker Tilly, but it'll be Baker Tilly, is they will do the federal forms in order to get us back the rebate money. So we need this in order to make, and I think it's about a little bit less than $200,000, I think, is the credit we're expecting.
We're in the neighborhood of 100, 120.
120, okay, 120.
We would decide.
So Nick, why does this, the one that we're rescinding? I'm confused, why does it go until March of 2026? Or
So
was that the?
that was the original one that was awarded.
Okay,
So we have to, because we took an action to award it through committee,
gotcha,
now we've taken action to rescind it.
gotcha. Okay, I just saw that the dates were overlapping and I
Mhm.
get it now. Thank you. Do we,
Member Lassie, then.
Is the 120,000 guaranteed or approximately that amount guaranteed to get as a rebate?
Yes, it's elective pay. It's, the private sector is allowed a tax credit. Local governments and other nonprofits it's called elective pay. In the current system as it is, it has not been rescinded and we applied for it. So we should be good.
To the IRS.
Yeah, through the IRS.
So to your question, can it be stopped? Can it be rescinded? Anything can happen, but right now it is absolutely available to us and we would like to pursue it. But there is a chance here that we go through this and we get denied at the end because the program changes. That's possible.
So I assume you guys are gonna do this really fast. I don't know, is there some,
We will move as
No.
quickly as we can.
yeah, so, like tomorrow, yesterday? Thank you, yeah.
Any other discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So now we go into 10A, bid award. I'd like to move on 25-13-95. Recommendation for the approval of contract to Baker Tilly Advisory Group to provide accounting services and support related to the pursuant of federal renewable energy tax credits as part of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 on facilities management for a period of June 17, 2025 through June 16, 2026, for a total contract amount not to exceed $23,500. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
They did an excellent job explaining that one. Next item up, FMP 3225 on the recommendation for the approval of the contract of Hune Electric for Phase 2 installation solar panels on the roof of the JTK Administration Building, facilities management for a period of June 24, 2025 through June 23rd, 2026, for a total contract
So moved.
not to exceed $574,833. Been moved and seconded.
Second. Second.
Discussion, Mr. Member Zay?
Yeah. Where's the rate of return on this?
So ROI on this one, where are we at? What's that?
With the federal funding, we're about 2 years.
So this is
I mean, while Sheila was here and she was clapping, we were all doing it, I thought I heard we were making about $2,000 a month on solar. That's what we're saving approximately.
This has $256,000 of an EECBG federal grant received. So
Okay, but I'm saying right now, we're producing
so
$2,000 a month, which we just gave away on that last contract for $23,500. So we're
so
at zero.
if you looked at solar straight up without any of the grants, anything like that, it's probably like a 20-25 year payback. But when you talk about well over half of it, EECG, all the rebates, everything we're getting from ComEd, it makes it much more viable for what we're doing. So
the $100,000 that Baker Tilly, with their successful, that goes for the original work that was done. So we are getting, you as a board will be getting $100,000 back for that work, if that work is when they're successful. So those are the things that knock these into a realistic, well, timeframe.
Okay,
And I can tell you, this has been, these projects, and it's getting more and more difficult to bid them out. This is Tim and his team, Valerie procurement. I think this is the second or third time we bid it out because the contractors, we can't find them anymore. I mean, they're getting more and more difficult. This is, luckily, we ended up with a very good, it's actually an electric company that does work like this. It's not like a solar, purely solar, but they're getting harder and harder to find.
well, life of solar, what's the life of the panels?
Usually,
I'm going through this, at the water commission, we built one of the largest solar fields in the Midwest with the city. And it runs at about 10% because the city didn't take care of it.
yeah,
So I mean, and everything, if they want to fix it, is obsolete now. So what's the life expectancy? You're saying it's gonna take 20-25 years to pay off and we have to replace it after 20.
we don't, this isn't a 25 year payback with the money we're getting, the other things, but normally it is a 20-25 and the lifespan on the panels nowadays are in the 25-27, but every year, there's a degradation of the output of panels, and you're absolutely right. And it depends, how long ago were the water commission panels put in?
Probably 15 years ago.
That's probably about right, because I know that it's, when they first came out, you guys were kind of cutting edge on that. And it's 15 to 20 was the life. The life's up a little bit right now, but only by about 10 years. But there is a degradation every year. It goes down by a couple % for output.
And then I saw somewhere where what we're saving is going back into the infrastructure fund.
It's going back into like other energy projects that on the campus here.
Okay.
So
Would it go into reducing our costs for electricity?
it does reduce that. So every year facilities meets with finance and they figure out, okay, what are the anticipated bills for ComEd, for gas, and then they set that. So it does reduce what they're budgeted.
Right, because I mean, we have ComEd here for 3.3 million for 2 years. That's
That's a delivery charge. That's not even the full extent, I don't think.
Right,
So it's even more than that.
that's what I'm saying though, I mean, we're talking
Yeah, the-
solar, I mean,
The solar is gonna be a drop in the bucket compared to what we pay for utilities on this campus.
okay, thank you.
See you.
Thank you. And two, I'll be the new Sheila, I guess. And I am gonna be clapping for solar. We have to do something because of climate change, you know, so doing nothing is not an answer either. I guess my question is to you, Nick, is why is it getting harder to find people who can do solar? What are you seeing as the trends? Is that because?
It's a good question. I think that you had, when solar was kind of like the end thing. And you had everybody popping up, a lot of those fly-by-night companies have left, and so you only have the quality companies now. And it's getting harder to find it, and it's the supply, it's difficult to find panels. That's one thing. So you have fewer companies competing for theoretically more projects. And I think the first time we put it out to bid, I think the bid was way outside of our budget. So we actually reached out and to the unions and had them help us, get interest out there among anybody they could find. And we were very fortunate. We've worked with this company before and they do good work. So
Okay.
With the federal grants we're looking for, there were restrictions on, where they're produced, that sort of thing. So that also kind of restricted
Oh,
the market
okay.
really.
Are we gonna be looking at like wind turbines or anything like that? I mean,
The reason I'm looking at wind turbines, you need the large ones is most effective. Is a fall radius and, from a zoning perspective, you generally don't see them on a residential application because it's just
I've seen some of buildings.
aesthetically challenging.
Okay.
Member Ozark?
So are these, have I read correctly that a lot of these panels are produced in China? That,
Like, it's fun.
Market wide they are, but I think these ones we were required
We had to
to.
meet the federal.
we're required to do made in USA.
oh, okay, so that was already part of the.
That was a requirement of the EECBG grant.
Okay,
So that did narrow the field.
so, but at least it doesn't hit tariff, et cetera, whatever.
The water commission solar panels you have, has the city not done any maintenance on them all these years? I mean, there is routine maintenance, yeah, if they hadn't done it, that definitely would affect the output.
Yeah, they own,
The city does?
but it's at our facility at Lexington and they're supposed to maintain them and they don't, it's supposed to help on the cost of pumping facility and they don't work. There's holes in them, they're rusted, it's pretty bad shape.
Ian's not here today, but that's sort of his job.
Yeah.
He checks it every day, makes sure that we're outputting, and if not, we make a call to the.
Well, and as you said, as a manufacturer in our association, about 90% of solar panels are made in China. So it's very hard, when you're talking about people here trying to get, like a project like this, to try to find made in America panels, it's very difficult.
Okay,
Okay.
any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up, FMP 3025. I'd like to move on the recommendation. Oh, that's right, we have. Sorry about that. We'll go PWP 1525 on the recommendation for the approval of a contract to Sheffield Safety and Loss Company for safety program management for various county departments for a period of June 25, 2025 through June 24, 2026 for a total contract amount not to exceed $150,000. We're properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up is public utilities. I'd like to move on PWP 1625 on the recommendation for the approval of a contract to Commonwealth Edison for the electric utility supply and distribution services for the Connected County Facility for Public Works for a period of June 29, 2025 through June 28, 2027, for a total contract amount not to exceed $3,360,000.
Second.
Probably moved to second. Discussion. Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And next item up is FMP 2925. I'd like to move on the recommendation for the approval of a contract with Commonwealth Edison for electric utility supply and distribution services for the connected county facilities for facilities management for a period of June 29, 2025 through June 28, 2027. For total
Second.
contract amount not to exceed $7,711,000, $11,222. So $220. Sorry. That is for, the breakdown looks like animal services, facility management, and the care center and transportation. Thank you. Any discussion? Has been probably moved to second, yes. I don't think that was second. Do you have a second now? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll have an update on the Heritage Guide.
Remember to start at the last meeting, ask for a quick update. So we prepared a short PowerPoint or
No slides, just a verbal. of-
just a verbal update. So Jeff, go ahead if you want to kind of give an update. We do. And I did, your one individual, we have made contact. So Jeff, if you could.
Yeah, I'll lead off with that. So for the existing, artifacts down there, we did have the family of Cheryl Milnes reach out. He has the opera costume and boots down there. They're currently in Georgia and Florida. They have a dance company or a opera company down there to train kids. It's actually his 90th birthday this year. I talked with his wife. They looked for some sort of loan agreement with the old Heritage Gallery Foundation. They couldn't find something. We worked with the state's attorney to put together a couple sheets that basically lays out their claim to the items. They'll be notarized and returned to us. And upon that, we'll have 60 days to return those items to his family.
I want to say, I mean, our little ad hoc group, we, thought it'd be really nice to send a lovely thank you note, maybe signed by the chair.
Sure.
Thank you for letting us, display your stuff.
Yeah.
You could be more.
It's actually a line
eloquent
in our letter to,
Thank you
but
for
we can- if we want a separate letter, I'm sure we could talk to the board office too.
Since I mean, that's huge. Well, don't say stuff, but
We get Nick to wear it one time too, you know.
I want a picture of me wearing it.
They do?
No, they don't.
Anyway, if
But now that
a
you
really
said
nice
that.
letter, that would be lovely.
So I have to photocopy it, but anyway.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, we have talked to the state's attorney on the ownership of those items, just to cross some Ts and dot some Is. We do have a public notice out right now asking for anybody that has claim to these items to let us know. And then within a year, the county will definitely have ownership of these items. We just want to make sure we're checking every box. So that's in process right now. Other than that, if anybody wants to ask, like, I have had a couple of museums reach out for like short-term loans, that sort of thing. I can go through that with you too, but I know we're kind of short right now.
So basically, long and short is, we are looking at every avenue for, the items that we have in our responsibility down there. We're trying to find original owners, other museums, and our last resort will be boxing them up and storing them. So we'll work with the historical museum on all facets of it, to make sure we're doing it correctly, but we are definitely moving forward and we will continue to do so.
Members A.
Yeah, I have to say, I was really disappointed in the historical museum when I had asked them at our meeting about, and I'm not saying put the whole display up. I'm saying we could put a couple of these panels affixed to the wall with the story and the little artifact there, just in a corner or something. And then you could replace them every few months with the other ones that are left. I mean, we weren't asking for a lot, and it's, and you two are on the board. And when she said, oh, well, sorry, we don't do anything, we're 3 to 5 years out.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of, wasn't trying to put her on the spot, but it was kind of like, hey, we have this thing here, we'd like, because once we box them up, guess what?
Nobody's ever.
Nobody's ever gonna see them again. And that's all I just want. I mean, if, like I said, we could replace them every few months. We could actually maybe even make new panels to put up there with new people. You know what I mean? Kind of like a heritage thing, kind of just a little corner of the thing. I wasn't talking about taking up a large area, just a little corner where we could do that. And especially after we're giving them 250,000 for the front stairs. I mean, it kind of is our museum. I just, like, Dawn, you just said it. Once we box these up, they're gone. You're never gonna see them again.
If the committee would like, we can reach out to the historical museum, you know, maybe staff to see if there's any options that might be available. Like you said, maybe she was kind of caught off guard on that one. Historically, they've been very, very good to work with. We've been great partners, but we can reach out again if
We
if
had
the
a
committee would
meeting
like.
the next day, that's right. But we had a meeting the next day and Michelle specifically mentioned your question. And she said they just don't have room. They don't have room to store. They don't have room to
I know,
display. They just don't have room.
I do know they
Guess
have,
what? They're gonna have a guest over there, cause I'm gonna go over there and walk around and see. I'm gonna find.
And move things closer to you.
They-
It doesn't make sense.
and I think they do have themselves a couple 100,000 artifacts that are in storage themselves.
That's fine. We could store it here and we could do something. I just hate to see it. Again, I don't think a lot of people have seen this, you know, so I mean, I'd hate to just see it disappear. I mean, I'm saying we could put it up and guess what? If people don't look at it after a few months and say no one even goes near it, then we take it down. We don't worry about it.
Okay,
Sir?
thank you. So one of the things about what you said, Jim, this wasn't my original question, but, after Jeff, you said that we've sent out notice that we have this stuff and if it's yours, come and get it or let us know. But, so after a year, it becomes ours, is what I heard you say.
I think is it lost or abandoned property?
So it's the Museum Disposition of Properties Act. We're required to provide notice in 3 successive weeks in the newspaper,
Okay,
basically saying, we have all these properties. They were placed on loan. We don't know who owns them. If you do, contact us, give us proof of your ownership, and we'll get it back to you in 60 days. After 1 year, we take title to it.
over.
Yeah.
And once we take title to it, can we give some things away?
Yeah, we
Because
can
I
do-
know that Wheaton College was really interested in the Billy Graham Bible.
Once we take title, we can do whatever we want.
And could we give it away because it's now? Is it ethically okay to give stuff away like the Billy Graham Bible to a college because
It
the
would be-
taxpayers own it?
It would be a surplus property decision.
It would be what?
It would be a surplus property decision that you could vote
the
on. as a
committee
board.
can make that decision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
In essence, we're giving the taxpayers' Bible to an institution of higher learning.
I
so
think
that's-
there's different steps we have to take. We have to get through, it's just a long process with any of these artifacts that we have. We have to make sure legally, we figure out, okay, the proper owners can identify them. No, now we have to do notice. All right, we did that. Now we can figure out, you as a committee can figure out, okay, we've done all these. Now we do have interested parties. Are we okay with giving it away? I will tell you, a number of the artifacts down there are replicas and have very little to no value except historical that way.
Yeah.
So, you know, like the Red Grange, I know we sent it off and we thought it was gonna be the original. It's a replica.
Yeah.
And so there's very little that is original down there, I think.
Okay, so, but the Bible looks the original.
The Bible, I mean, that's the thing. We don't know for sure, and that's why we're hoping somebody can shed some light as we start going through the research.
Okay, but just, you know, my opinion, I'd rather give the Bible away to whoever wants it, Wheaton College, and have it stored there for the next downstairs for the
Yeah.
next 20.
Once it enters our vaults in the basement, it'll never see the light of day again. So,
Okay,
you guys are absolutely right on it. It'll be safe down there, but it's never gonna,
Do we need to put it on the agenda? or-
No. Well,
Just-
my recommendation is Jeff, Tim, and their team, they're doing a great job going through the
Yeah.
process. It's a long process. We just wanted to kind of give everybody an update going, this is kind of what we're doing. We will continue down that path.
and, okay, so my next question is, an inquiry was sent out to all the museums in the county, asking them if they'd like to borrow anything from the exhibit. Have we heard back from any of them?
So so that was early April, just real quick. Glen Ellen Historical Society actually wanted to know if the displays could be
Oh, the
reused,
case?
like the actual, like the shelving system, for a couple of them. The Elkhurst History Museum is gonna be doing a Red Grange exhibit late next year, so they said at that time they might circle back and ask if we still have any Red Grange items, that they could take on loan.
And apparently those Red Grange, just for research, the, well, the uniform was a replica, the actual, scrapbooks his mom put together, they're.
Yeah, and that's what they really thought was interesting, and they
Right.
thought that fit in with the exhibit that they're already planning.
Right.
And there's a very large picture of them as well.
And finally, at the last meeting that we talked about the Heritage Gallery, you mentioned a press release going out. Was that the press release to, has that press release gone out? What was it?
So press release from the standpoint of, we're trying to, as we figure out where these artifacts go, I mean, the public is interested. There's been several articles on it. I mean, and I know that Joan and her team is working with, the various press that's coming in. Right now, nothing imminent is happening as we do this process, but at some point, when there is action moving forward, we will have a press release at that point.
Oh,
There's nothing imminent
I
happening.
thought
right
the press release was maybe the information to say, hey, this is, you know.
No, I think once we take title to the items, maybe at that time, we decide if we want to contact these museums again and see if anybody does have a long-term home for these items instead of, going into storage, but until they're
Officially, they're
It's layout that they need to return them to us basically upon demand. Should somebody come out of the woodwork as an owner requiring us to return it, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be permanent loans, it'd be a short-term agreement, so.
I think I just, okay, I'm sorry.
I just got one last thing. Maybe to look at, just touch source with the screens. I thought their presentation was better than what we got for the new Heritage Gallery. Would they do indoor?
That actually come up.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a case, I think, if we had another system that uses the same interface, I mean, it'd be easy to.
There was, for the Heritage Gallery, there was the display center, then there was the screen side, and there was an interest in the screen. To see, and then,
we'll keep that, we'll definitely keep it in
Right,
mind.
Keep that in mind,
Okay.
because that would, I know we want a lot more interaction and some displays and, I mean, their presentation for outdoor couldn't go inside. We could do stuff on those, couple of them, and the price wasn't bad.
Here is
Here. And you could change.
And then
Right.
yeah,
using big banners, colorful banners.
I was also thinking with the screens, we could do, like they do with the zoo or the museums, where there are individual screens that people put on, headphones. I almost said earmuffs, put on headphones and listen to the stories being told or whatever. From, whatever, I will talk about that later. Thank you.
All right.
Can I just ask, there was a consensus of the committee to move ahead after the Mills stand, is that that's all right?
Yeah.
Yes,
it's okay to
We,
say that.
they've clearly
He's still
identified that
alive,
is, I'm
so-
sorry, is that okay?
Time is of the essence on that one
And
too.
they've clearly identified that they are the family, I mean, we're,
And I told them we were going maybe digital in the future, and she said through their foundation or whatever, they do have like mini videos and more information where they could send stuff back if we do want to incorporate it into a future
Awesome.
interface. So.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other old business? Any new business? Chair will take a motion to adjourn. Probably moved and, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.